So there's one game that really just kind of got under my skin real fast. It got under a lot of people's skin real fast, and that is Elden Ring. Okay, the game is beautiful. The game is amazing. Very well developed, very well created. My biggest gripes with this freaking game. Okay, I got over the dying. I understand you have to die like 700 times. I get that. Okay, I get in Elden Ring you have to die 700 times. Sure. What really pissed me off, and it's just not my play style, is I hate when I open up the map. I don't know where I'm going. Like there's no mission like, hey, go here to this area to kill this person, or there's no direction of where I need to go. It's just, oh, pay attention to dialogue and figure it out. That's some people like that. That rubbed me. I don't really like that much. Now, I will also say this is my first Souls experience, so take it with a grain of salt. If you know Souls games, then you're gonna know what you're getting yourself into. The Dark Souls games are a little bit different. They're more dungeon crawling-y, so they're linear, right? You kind of know where you're going. Elden Ring is their first kind of open world test with a Souls theme, and you really, really, really have to pay attention to dialogue or take notes pretty much. So, I like Assassin's Creed, Dying Light, like those games where you can open up a map and know exactly where to go. You know what I mean? MMOs, where you have, New World, right? Where you guys can open up their map, know exactly where to go. Lost Ark, all those things where you know where to go. That's what I like, right? I'm like, oh, okay, this is my mission. If I don't play the game for a few days and I come back to it, I'm like, well, I don't know where I'm going. What am I doing? That's what I hated about Elden Ring. Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have an honest game trailer for Elden Ring. And then for those of you that play it, for those of you that are interested in Elden Ring, here are the 10 craziest builds. Game like Witcher 3? Yeah, absolutely. Witcher 3, I love Witcher 3, man. I beat it twice already. Love Witcher 3. Anyway, so there's 10 crazy builds of Elden Ring. So if you're playing the game, you want to make these builds, let's get it. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let's check out the honest game trailer for Elden Ring.
For spoilers.
Dude, I love their intro.
Inspired by the mind of George R.R. Martin and the studio that brought us the video game equivalent of waterboarding, comes a new type of Soulsborne experience that changes the series forever with one very important twist. You get a pretty pony. Elden Ring. Stand in awe of the expanse that is Elden Ring. As from
the monsters are crazy in this game.
Vicious Souls game since they called it King's Field.
Yeah.
Taking the usual sadistic formula out of the traditional series of gated hallways into a vast open world filled to the very brim with every single thing that made you suffer in every previous title. Which somehow took the series status from for hardcore gamers to universally beloved. Except for people who want to complain about the menus or whatever. By finding
Okay. Did they just call me out there? Hold on. Did they just call me out on the menu? On the menu? Come on now. Okay. Here's the thing. Elden Ring did attract a lot of people. I think what attracted a lot of people to Elden Ring was the open world aspect of it. You know what I mean? Open world is king now. If you're not a battle royale, you're an open world game. That's just how you are with AAA games. If you're not BR or open world, good luck. So I think making a Souls game open world with George R.R. Martin backing it or writing for it or helping with the lore, man, all of those things playing with you, man, Elden Ring did great and attracted a lot of new people to try it out. I've never done a Souls game. I tried out Elden Ring. You know what I mean? So I get that, but yeah, the menu.
Complain about the menus or whatever. By finally executing from software's plan of making everyone get good whether they want to or not. In a time that proves Souls games aren't just for masochists that would voluntarily throw themselves in front of a balls-kicking machine. Or maybe just proves that somewhere deep inside, we're all balls-kicking machine guy. Now that it's mainstream, I'm pretty sure making fun of these games is considered kink-shaming. Explore the sheer magnitude of the lands between, as the surreal and beautiful nightmare-scapes of the Souls aesthetic are blown up American extra large, and you'll travel through radically different landscapes and 10 distinct varieties of poison swamp to absolutely get stomped on in each and every one of them. Where despite the fact that you're in a Skyrim-sized world, You'll still do the Dark Souls thing and run past all the dudes to collect graces just so you can declench your sphincter a little bit, which is luckily made much easier.
So true. Once you see a grace, you're loving it.
As you get completely demolished by a single enemy. Then discover the true genius of Elden Ring as you simply pack it up and go somewhere else for a while, where the mostly unbarred environment allows you to completely avoid the futility of beating your head against a single boss for hours, which plagued the previous titles. Then watch in horror as your dumbass does that anyway, because getting beat down by Margit 20 times has injured your pride. That is, if you can pry yourself away from meandering into every cave to collect all the weapons you don't have the build for. In an open world experience that doesn't so much as hold your hand as abandon your daring childhood. Miyazaki said he was going out for cigarettes. That was 45 years ago.
Burn
of the Elden Ring and step into the shoes of the Tarnished, another dreg of a protagonist that finds themselves in a world where every person, animal, and plant wants to kill them. Tasked to fight a bunch of demigods and reforge the pieces of the Elden MacGuffin. In a narrative unheard of for a Souls game that sort of lets you know what's going on from the get-go, but still somehow manages to be just as vague as you piece together the cryptic numerous weirdos and creeps around you, and try to parse lore with a Similarian level of made-up fantasy names to keep straight, which is probably what has kept George R.R. Martin from writing more Games of Thrones for all these years, despite the fact that 95% of the player base will ignore it completely.
Made their way to the realm. Very well. It is safe.
Dude, it's so true.
Big sword kill guy. But hey, I guess somebody's got to keep the Souls YouTuber economy afloat. Roll around like you're on fire in the frenetic combat of Elden Ring that revamps the systems of the previous titles and adds the unthinkable, a jump button.
Oh, dude, if jump wasn't in the other Souls games, I don't know what I would do.
Jump into some of the sweatiest Souls combat you've ever experienced.
God, no way.
Like guard counters and awkwardly fighting from horseback add variety to the encounters. Unless you're a magic user, where you'll cheese out everything from a safe distance just like normal, to constantly get instantly bodied.
I heard magic's OP though. I'm a straight attack build, strength build, but I heard magic's OP.
And inevitably crush your ego on the altar of some horrible construct with way too many limbs, or simply a big dog, until you just bite the bullet and invite strangers to help you take them down. Or summon an upgradable spirit jellyfish, because honestly, why not? In some of the most ridiculous fights you've ever seen in a Souls game, none of which will prepare you for the game's true battles. The one against the game's bad optimization, and every dickhead who keeps trying to get you to jump off a cliff. You know, nothing quite
those messages are weird.
Painstakingly crafted setting more than reading 40 messages that say Fort Common Night. So put on your oversized hat and get ready to praise the ring for a gaming experience that treats you like you're smarter than you actually are, which despite its highs and lows deserves genuine respect for sticking to its genuinely unique design that attempts to truly make you feel like you're exploring a forgotten world and not just checking off boxes on a list. And I'm not just saying that because of the Stockholm Syndrome anymore. Starring, dying, crying, misjudging the jump and dying from fall damage.
That's the worst.
Rolling to your death, missing every swing on your horse, endless cheese, getting invaded at the worst time.
Oh, invading is annoying.
Revenge, insisting you double wield the big weapons despite fat rolling, hitting every wall in case they're an illusion. Respecting over and over, destroying all furniture around you, patches, looking like a child who dressed themselves for peak stats, debating on killing an NPC for their swag, laughing at Rudon's ridiculous horse, crying around Rudon's ridiculous horse, getting hugs after trying your best, and being maidenless, in-game and in real life.
Damn.
Elden Finger Ring.
Dang. Butthole.
The real threat of this game isn't the massive dragons or powerful demigods. It's the crabs and lobsters. Seriously, I haven't been this threatened by seafood since I got food poisoning at Red Lobster. Tell us what you like.
They are. Oh my gosh, those crabs and lobsters are absolutely. They come out of nowhere. They piss me off. I absolutely agree with that. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, guys. Here's what you've all been waiting for. Okay, the 10 best builds, or not best, but craziest builds. But they might actually just be genius, guys. It's from Game Rants. Check them out. Oh, by the way, The Fandom video for honest game trailers. Fandom games. I want to describe there on stream. Krampus, how we doing? Welcome in. Guys, please go ahead and check. I will link these videos in the Discord so you guys can check them out and check out other videos from them. Fandom games as honest game trailers are amazing. GamerAnx does these. I'm always subscribed to them. Love their videos. Very informative. Here's the 10 craziest Elden Ring builds.
Elden Ring is the latest in a long line of games, the Dark Souls series, that gives you a ton of options for build-outs. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks,
Falcon's good.
Craziest Elden Ring builds. Starting off at number 10, it is the Sonic build. This is a build where your ultimate weapon is rolling, like Sonic.
What?
Now, you're not exactly flying around at the speed of
sound. And of course they're blue.
Expect the theme songs from any of the cartoons to have. But you can pull off something similar to a spin dash in Elden Ring. All you need is this Ash of War called Lightning Ram, which you can find near the Sainted Hero's grave on the Atlas Plateau. With that equipped, you can roll around as much as you want. You can even change your appearance to make yourself more Sonic-like if that's what you want to do in Elden Ring. Now, it's not all that effective by itself.
Rolling, though?
Buffs from items like the Lightning Scorpion Charm, the Shard of Alexander, and the Blue Dancer Charm. Well, it gets better. If you really want to go nuts, you can boost your damage by using the
those are early level. There, that one's tough.
Shield offhand and combine the buffs from those weapons to really put on the hurt. Honestly, it's barely a build. It's literally just equip Ash of War, roll into stuff. But it's so blunt and so stupid that it's kind of amazing. And it's also funny as hell. Look at this guy.
That'd be legit.
Rolling around. You can't help but laugh. I was cracking up at this for about a half an hour before I even tried to record this. I bothered everybody that would answer an IM or a text.
That is funny. That's you have that ability. Oh, I hurt.
And number 9 is The Wall. This is as simple and blunt as it gets. Credit goes to Grimmy for this one. It's
The
all
Wall.
about being unmovable.
Oh wow, look at that thing.
Equip the Bull Goat set and 2 fingerprint stone shields. Not 1, 2. The second shield's mostly there for the intimidation factor, and it works. You can pretty much walk through anything with this combo.
Oh!
With the proper stats, shield bash or block with the main arm, and use the secondary attack quickly after you block the enemy attack. Depending on the enemy, you're basically unstoppable. Yeah, you may be encumbered the whole time, but nothing can stop you. You just be a slow-moving wall of death that enemies hopelessly bounce off of. The hardest part is really getting 2 fingerprint stone shields. Just getting one of these things is kind of a pain in the ass, but 2 is asking a lot. But the results speak for themselves.
All right.
This is exactly what it claims to be. And number 8 is
That's
the
funny.
Bubble Boy build. Some of the weirdest enemies in Elden Ring are the Envoys, affectionately referred to as Bubble Boys by the fan base. They look weird, and their attacks are even weirder.
By bubbles?
By blowing instruments that release,
wow.
bubbles. Not impressive looking, but they are powerful and you can use them.
How are bubbles powerful?
Envoy's crown, which increases the damage of the bubble skills combined with one of the 3 versions of the horn weapon dropped by these guys. They're all relatively rare, keep in mind, but if you can get one, they're well worth it, both for the trolling potential of such weird weapons and because they're actually pretty good in their own right.
Oh my god.
Just run around and fight your enemies with the power of bubbles. There's also some sorceries that are bubble based, like the oracular bubble.
Stay hydrated.
But they don't get boosted by the Envoy crown, so they're probably not worth bothering with. As long as you're wearing something.
How are bubbles? I don't understand that.
The part, and you'll pull off some impressive damage that'll catch people off guard and melt the HP of certain bosses.
Bubbles?
7 is the Ninja Turtle.
Yes, crit!
Culture gimmick build, but there's enough going on with it that there's something here to talk about. The main things you need are a turtle shell, which you have to keep on your back, and the Albinauric head, which is about as close to a Ninja Turtle head you're going to get in this game. From there,
Ninja Turtle build.
Weapon of your preferred turtle, be it a katana, pole, flail for nunchucks, whatever, and slap on some light armor or samurai armor to get the whole vibe of Ninja Turtles. It's really the shell and the Albinauric head that push this build over the edge for me. It's just such a weird and ugly approximation of the turtles. It comes back around to being amazing. Seeing how stupid you can look in Elden Ring is half the fun.
It's true, kind of, actually.
Particularly stupid look.
I kind of want that build now. Dyslexic, where you at? I need that build. Bubble.
Number 6
Ninja
is
Turtles.
the Weatherman build, a pretty clever thing posted by Benjelson on Reddit, which they called the Weatherman build. Basically, it's a magic build where you confuse your opponent with spells like Freezing Mist and Found Rain of Stars to create a kind of rain effect that isn't all that dangerous, but very distracting. From there, you can finish them off with the Bolt of Grand Sex or the Ancient Lightning Spear. Whatever you got on you. As long as it's fast and sudden and relatively lightning-like, then it works really well.
What is that? I mean, it's kind of cool, but how's that strong?
You're basically calling down a storm on your enemy. This kind of smoke screen, I mean, it's pretty pointless against AI enemies, but if you're facing off against another player in a duel, it works incredibly well to knock them off balance.
Yeah.
And number 5 is Fat Melania and Big Malaketh, posted by MrJGilbert983 on Reddit. I'm not sure if he made these guys or just spotted them out in the wild, but either way, they are hilarious. Making your own Fat Melania is simple. Just put on the Melania helmet and the fire prelate.
So we got the 10 craziest builds in Elden Ring right now.
Appropriate. Like Mogwin's
Look at that.
spear. Because it's like a big fort, get it? For Big Malaketh, just keep his helmet and swap in something like Lionel's set to make like a fat version of the dude. Keep his weapon, but instead of using some super fast special attacks, use an electric butt stomp to really play up the hugeness. It's dumb as hell, but it's pretty funny. And
is it strong though? That's what I want to know.
Whole build, which we've all seen those stupid try finger butthole messages, but now
try fingers butthole.
Sort of do it, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But there's a weapon called the ringed finger. Deep in Gelmir's
oh my god, look at that thing.
It's a pain in the ass to get, but it's worth it for the novelty alone. You don't need a lot to wield this thing, just 15 strength and 9 dexterity with a 4.5 weight. So there's not much stopping you from using this wherever you want. Now just put on Ronaldo's
big finger,
make your skin purple and sickly looking, and now you're not just swinging around a big finger, you can pretend to be 2 fingers. Its alternate attack is especially good, called the
oh my gosh,
where the finger just out of nowhere gets twice as big and does a flick attack, similar to the finger creeper enemies. It's honestly.
Are you serious right now? You're attacking me with a finger?
It is actually a fun build to screw around with, even if only to baffle people who have never seen this thing in action.
Right.
And number 3 is
hit pretty strong though.
If you're ready to fully embrace the jar boy lifestyle, this is the
build. Okay, I've killed a lot of these jars things, so
it is a ridiculous build that has a lot of elements. You have the jar helmet, of course, Lionel's armor for the jar-like shape, the Beastman's jar shield for an odd hand, and the jar cannon for the full jar effect. I mean, that's good for range, but some heavy iron ball fist weapons really round out the build so you can punch things, while still looking appropriately jar-like. From there, you can just start blasting away, which works well with talismans like the arrow sting, the companion jar, and of course some pot weapons to throw that get boosted damage from all this jar crap you're wearing.
Oh, dang, that's
really
pretty strong.
It's obviously a gimmick build, but it's a good gimmick.
That's the cool thing about this game too. You have all these different options and availabilities for like what you can build.
Mech suit. Created by Adamantium, this is a build that makes you into a walking death machine. It combines a few unlikely elements and is mostly just a gimmick, but it's a really good one. The 3 main things you need here are a flask of wondrous physic with the Opaline hard tier and the Cerulean hidden tier. Drinking this boosts your damage negation and eliminates all FP consumption, which, I mean, you're really gonna need here. Next is the Iron Jar Aromatic, which uses FP to temporarily make you super resistant to damage, but it also really slows you down by a lot. The last
that
thing
sucks.
is the Unendurable Frenzy incantation, where you summon a swarm of frenzy, causing magic bolts to fly out of your eyes.
Whoa, hell yeah!
Drain your FP like crazy and kill you just as fast, but with the previous boosts, it makes it so you only take a fraction of the damage. Now just equip them appropriately, mech-like armor, like pop the aromatic and the flask, and you can walk through pretty much anything that stands in your way. It's not quite as effective in PvP as it used to be, because it's a trick that people are well aware of now, but
what is it? What's the trick? Tell me. I need to know.
And finally, at number 1, the Let Me Solo Her build.
Okay, here we go. Number 1 craziest build.
Because it's goofy, it's because it's actually also powerful. The Let Me Solo Her guy got so famous for a reason. The overpowered build combined with the underpowered appearance is impressive looking, if nothing else. The actual build is relatively straightforward. First, no armor, just a pot helmet. Very simple.
Why?
Now, the weapons you'll want.
Why the pot helmet?
Equipped with the Hoarfrost Stomp and the Rivers of Blood, which uses the Corpse Plier Ash of War. The trick is to use the Hoarfrost Stomp to spread frost that quickly builds up to do damage, combined with the Rivers of Blood, which quickly builds up bleeding effects. Both can be combined to turn most enemies and bosses into a cakewalk. You barely even have to worry about the not wearing armor part of it. No disrespect for the action.
But what about the Dragon Breath? That one's good. That builds up.
The build itself has somewhat been nerfed from patches, but the difference is honestly
pretty
minor.
Damn.
It's an incredibly powerful combo that can do the job not just against this boss, but all of them. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Wow. What about the Dragon's Breath though? Because that does what the Dragon Rot, right? Because that, man, I like that. Any kind of dragon abilities, I think they take a little while to kind of use or get off. But Dragon's Breath kind of sucks because later are immune. Oh, are they really? Well, don't tell me that. Dang it. Yeah, cause I like the Dragon's Breath as a Dragon Rot. It kind of just slowly whittles anybody down. So I've been using that a lot lately. But yeah, what do you guys think of these 10 crazy builds? Which one do you A, use, or B, want to use? But yeah, let me know what you guys, which are the 10 craziest builds that you would use or want to use maybe within the game. So please leave a comment below. Let me know. Rhyhorn, Evolution, go. Rhydon. I could have told you that. Easy. Rhydon? Oh no. That's got to be a joke. Kind of like a D's joke, huh? Rhydon. I knew it! Damn it!